As I told, today we'll be discussing logic controllers. So this is the logic controller component which we're going to use in your lab. Okay. So we can read the input from the logic controller and we can display the output onto the logic controller. So what this logic controller contains is LEDs. You can see 8 LEDs, the two pairs of 8 LEDs you are seeing. So this is what the component you're using, but actually it is from ESA company. The components are purchased. Okay. This From this logic controller component, we can read the input as well as we can display the output onto the logic controller. And you can see here logic controller, it contains LEDs. So these two pairs of that is a set of 8 LEDs we are seeing to indicate the status of the input and output. Okay, so what input you have set in the logic controller, that status you can see in the input LEDs. Similarly, whatever the output you are sending to the logic controller, that status you can see on the output LEDs. Okay, and there are lots of applications of logic controller. Mainly, you'll be using the logic controller to indicate the state of the process. So say, for example, you can consider washing machines, elevators, traffic signals, etc. So in washing machines, you might have seen this is the best example where you can see separate LEDs provided to indicate different status, right? That is whether it is in the wash state or rinsing state, spinning state, etc. Right? Based on at what state the operation is being performed, to indicate that state, corresponding LED will be turned on to indicate that status. Okay, so this is about the brief description of logic controller, and this is the component you are using in the lab for interfacing it with LPC2148 microcontroller. So if it is asked to explain with diagram logic controller interface, so these are the two diagrams you have to write. Okay, what actually this is indicating that I've prepared the points for explaining these diagrams. Okay, it is LPC2148 microcontroller you are using to interface it with logic controller component. Okay, and which are the ports you are using for this interfacing? It is port 0 and port 1. Okay, so for logic controller interface, we are making use of port 0 and port 1. Both the ports are used. Where port 0, it is used as input port and port 1 is used as output port. So this is first point you need to know. For logic controller interface, they're using port 0 of the microcontroller as input port and port 1 is used as output port. And which pins of these ports are used, that we'll see. Okay, so port P1 pins, that is P1.16 to P1.23 of the microcontroller, they are connected to the output LEDs of the logic controller. So you can see in the second diagram, P1.16 to P1.23 of LPC2148. So these port pins, they are connected to the output LEDs of the logic controller. So whatever the data you are sending out through these port pins, that will be reflected in these LEDs. So for example, if I want to make all these output LEDs glow, so in that case, I can send out the data FFH on these 8 pins. Okay, that is 16 to 23. These are the 8 pins through which I can send out the data. So if it were to be FFH sent out to through these port pin, so that means all the output LEDs will glow to indicate it is in the on state. Similarly, if I want to turn off all these LEDs through port 1.16 to port 1.23, we can send out a value 0, 8-bit value, so which will turn off all the LEDs to indicate off state. Okay, so this is about port P1. So remember, in logic controller interface, port P1 is used as output port. So each of these port pins are connected to separate LEDs, output LEDs, to indicate the state of the output. Okay, so you can send out some data through these port pins P1.16 to P1.23, and that state you will see through this LEDs. Okay, so coming to port 0, which is used as input port, you can see in the first diagram. Okay, you are having toggle switches. In the previous diagram, if you can just see, so these are the toggle switches available, small switches to set the input. Okay, that is if you want to set it to 1 or 0, that particular bit status out of these 8 bits. So for each setting of the bits, separate switches are available here. Totally 8 small switches are available. So for setting or resetting each of the bit. Okay, so that input status, whatever you set using these toggle switches, that is appearing, that or that will be appearing on this input LEDs. So 8 LEDs you are having to indicate the state of the input, what input you have set using these toggle switches. So these are the 8 LEDs that are available on the logic controller component. Okay, so that's what been explained in this first diagram. You're having toggle switches to set the input in the logic controller. Okay, so port 0 pin numbers are port 0.15 to port 0.22. So these pins are connected to the switches. You can see in this diagram port 0.15 to port 0.22. So these 8 pins are connected to the toggle switches. Okay, and the switches are associated with LEDs to indicate the state of the switch, whether it is in on state or off state. So if the switch is closed, then a corresponding LED for that switch will be turned on to indicate on state. And if it were to be closed, if the switch were to be open, in that case, it will be turned off. Okay, so that's what is explained here. So when the switch is opened, the LED is turned off, and when the switch is closed, LED is turned on. So this is a simple interface diagram for logic controller. So these are the points you need to explain with respect to logic controller interface. So this is another simple component we are discussing. So what you have to explain, what are the ports you are using for logic controller interface? It is port 0 and port 1. Which pins of port 0 and which pins of port 1 you are using? So port 1 pins are P1.16 to P1.23, and port 0 pins are it is 15th pin, port 0.15 to port 0.22. Okay, these are the pins you are using for logic controller interface. And which port is acting as an input port and output port? Port 0 is used as input port for this interfacing, and port 1 is used as output port. Okay, and port 1 pins are connected to output LEDs in the logic controller. So whatever the data you send out through port 1 16 to 23 pin, so that status will be appearing on the output LEDs in the logic controller. Okay, coming to the input. Okay, to set the input, you are provided with toggle switches. Okay, toggle switches are connected to port 0 pins, port 0.15 to port 0.22. And to indicate the state of the switch, so they are in turn connected to LEDs, 8 LEDs. So if the switch is open, in that case LED is turned off to indicate off state. Similarly, if the switch is closed, then LED is turned on. So this is what you have to explain with respect to logic controller. So now we'll discuss the lab syllabus program associated with logic controller and other types of question you can expect on logic controller. So let me discuss this first program. So this is the third program of your lab syllabus. Already we have completed 4 programs, 2 on 7 segment display, that is first and sixth program on 7 segment display interface, second and seventh program on stepper motor interface. So this is the third program of your lab syllabus, which is on logic controller interface. Okay, so this is what the problem statement. Develop an embedded C program to read the status of 8 input bits from the logic controller interface and display FF if it is even parity bits, otherwise display 00. So also display the number of ones in the input data. Okay? What you have to do? You have to read the input from the logic controller. Then you have to test the bits, whether the number of ones in the input, whatever you have read. If you find even number of ones in the input, then on the output LEDs of the logic controller, you have to display FFH. That means all the output LEDs must be turned on to indicate it is an even parity. Okay. So if the number of ones in the input, whatever you have read, if it were to be odd, then you have to turn off all the output LEDs to indicate it is an odd parity. So then after some delay, you have to also display how many ones you have encountered in the input. Number of ones, that count must also be displayed onto the logic controller. Okay. Hope the problem statement is clear. We are going to read first the input from the logic controller, some data, some 8-bit data we are reading, and we need to just check out how many ones are there in that input. You need to write the code for counting the number of ones in that input. Then if you find it is odd number of ones in the input, then we need to turn off all the output LEDs of the logic controller to indicate it as an odd parity. So if number of ones are even, in that case we are going to turn on all the 8 output LEDs to to indicate it is an even parity. So after some delay, after displaying either FFH or 00H, that means either turning on all the LEDs or turning off all the LEDs to indicate even or odd parity, then we are going to display the number of ones in the input. Okay, so this is what the problem we are going to implement. And you know how to proceed. First, we are going to include the header file lpc214x.h. Then I have written a separate routine to count the number of ones in the input. So in the main function, we are going to read the input through the logic controller. How to read it, that statements we'll discuss. So since I'm first going to define the user defined function and then the main function, we'll see what operation is to be performed to count the number of ones in the input. Okay. So for that, you should be aware of the input and output ports for logic controller interface. Port 1 is output port, port 0 is input port, and port 1 16 to 23 they are used as output port pins. Port 0s 15 to 22 they are used as input port pins. So this you should be aware of. So next, coming to this routine, this is the return type of the function I have given, unsigned char. Name of the function to improve the readability, I have given it as count once, and within parentheses, we have specified the argument unsigned long x. So we are going, since it is 32-bit port, 32-bit data, we are going to get in the variable x. Okay, so this is the function header we have given, and we have declared some local variables unsigned char I comma count equals to 0. So since we are going to write a function to count the number of ones in the input, initial count we have taken it as 0. So how many bits I have to test? It is 8-bit data that is read from the logic controller. So if I run the loop 8 times, that is sufficient. From that we'll get number of ones in the input. Okay. So since only 8 bits I have to test, 8 iterations are required to decide the number of ones in the input. So that's why this is what the for loop header we are going to write. For I equals to 0, I less than 8, I plus plus. Right? Similar to 7-segment display. So to display any character onto the 7-segment display digit, you know, all the 8 bits are to be sent out. The for loop header remains the same here also. Since from the logic controller, we are reading 8-bit status. So that's why 8 bits are to be tested here. So that's why we are running the loop from 0 till 8. Okay. And what is the test condition? Now each bit in the input, we need to check whether it is 1 or 0. And you know, and operation which you can perform on, and which bit you are testing, depending on that you are going to take the mask value. So how to take that mask value, we can see here. If x and 0x004 followed by 50, right shifted I times. So you can, this is what the expression I have written in the if header. If this evaluates to true, that means if it results in non-zero value, that means whatever the bit we are testing, it is 1. So in that case, we need to increment the counter. So how this works, I'll explain a little while later. Okay. So for the time being, just know this is what the if header we have written. If x and it is bitwise AND operation we are performing, 0x004 followed by 50, this is the hexadecimal value, right shifted I times. If this result of evaluation is non-zero, that means the bit what we are testing is 1. So we need to increment the counter, count plus plus. This process is repeated 8 times to test all the bits. So once all 8 bits are tested, so depending on whether we have encountered a 1 or 0, so if it were to be 1, we are incrementing the counter. So once the for loop terminates, in this count variable, we will be having total number of ones. So that value we are going to return to the calling function. Okay, this is what count ones routine is doing. This is written to count the number of ones in the input. So x is the variable. This is the formal argument which receives the input, and we are testing the each bit in this input, all the 8 bits, to check whether it is 1 or 0. If it is 1, then only we are incrementing the counter. So just for the better clarity, I've prepared this table. So just check here. Port 0 is the input port pin, you know. So if you want to read the status of the input LEDs of the logic controller, it is done through port 0. Okay, so port 0 pins are used, and what pin numbers are used for reading the input? It is port 0.15. Okay, port 0.15 to port 0.22. These are the port pins which are acting as input port pins. So just observe, I marked here only these bit status. Once you see the X value, okay, so where you find the data, the 8-bit data at these positions, are you getting? So we are having a 32-bit data in X. So only these pins are connected to the input LEDs of the logic controller, that is port 0.15 to port 0.22. Only these pins are connected. So whatever the input we have read through logic controller, that will be available in these bit positions. Okay, port 0. That is the 15th bit, B15 to B22. Okay, this is the bit position where the input is available. Now we need to test only these bits, not least significant bits we are testing, only the bits which are available at position that is 22 to 50. So what is the mask value I have to take to test the 22nd bit in this 32-bit data? So it is 0x004 followed by 50. Just see, I have written in binary also. So this is each nibble I have written separately. 31 to 28 all 0, 27 to 24 all 0. It is the second hex 0 here what you are finding. So 0100 means it is 4. Okay, so next 0000 followed by that all zeros. So these are 5 hex zeros. So this constitutes one hex 0, this constitutes another hex 0. These are all zeros. So for in the first iteration, what is the mask value we have considered? It is 004 followed by 50. That means first I am testing 22nd bit. 22nd bit in the input, I want to test whether it is 1 or 0. You know, initially I is 0. So if this result, this mask value, right shifted 0 times means it is the same value. That means in the first iteration, we are trying to test 22nd bit. Bit 22 is being tested for 1 or 0. After performing AND operation with X, okay, if it results in 0 value, then what we can infer? Bit 22 is 0. We should not increment the counter in that case, right? If this results in non-zero value after performing AND operation, since bit 22nd, we are taking it as 1. If in the input at bit 22nd position, if you find a 1, 1 and 1 will result in 1. So you'll get a non-zero value as result after this expression is evaluated. So that means we have encountered a 1 in the bit 22nd position. So for which we need to increment the counter. So count plus plus will increment the counter by 1. So next, in the next iteration, I need to test bit 21. In the second iteration, which bit I have to test? It is bit 21. So in that case, what I need to do? How to test bit 21? I is incremented here. What is the new value of I? It is 1. 1 is less than 8. Control, since condition is satisfied, control enters the loop. We are into the second iteration, and just check what is the mask value we are taking in the second iteration. It is 002 followed by that 5 zeros. Since we need to test bit 21, once you right shift this data one time, so 23rd bit will be 0, 22nd bit will be 0, 21st bit which I want to test, only that bit status I am taking as 1, and rest other bit status as 0. So what is this? The 32-bit data you are getting 002 followed by that 5 zeros. So that will be the result after you perform right shift operation. This mask value is taken to perform AND operation, and if it results in 1, that means bit 21 is 1. We have come to the conclusion where we'll increment the counter. Okay, the process is repeated. In the next iteration, I will be incremented to 2. 2 is less than 8, condition is satisfied, control enters the same value 004 followed by 5 zeros. It is right shifted 2 times. So what will be the value? It is 001 followed by 5 zeros. That means now we want to test bit 20. In the third iteration, I want to test bit 20. Okay, that is tested. The process is repeated. If the result of AND operation is 1, then that is non-zero, then only counter will be incremented. The process is repeated 8 times till all the 8 bits starting from bit 22 to bit 15 are tested. Okay, if you want to do vice versa, that means if you want to start checking the bits from 15th bit to 22, what value you are going to take? Can anyone tell what mask value I have to take and what other changes I have to make in the program if I want to test starting from bit 15 to bit 22? Yes. What is the value you are going to take? This status will be 0, right? This will be 0.
Ma'am, 0x, 4 zeros, 1
Yeah.
triple 0, 1
That is
triple 0, right?
1 triple 0 means what is the value? Hexadecimal digit.
Ma'am, 0x,
This is
2 zeros.
0x. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, 0x,
4
followed
0.
with 4 zeros, followed with 4 zeros, then 1 3 zeros.
What is that 130 in hexadecimal?
8.
8, right? 8. 8 followed by that 3 zeros. Okay, this is the mask value we are going to take in the first iteration. So 40800. So since we want to test 15th bit first, that is 1000 is the nibble we are taking. Equivalent hexadecimal digit is 8. Okay. So in the first iteration, this mask value is taken and we are performing left shift by I times. Okay, I is 0 initially. That means this is the first mask value taken in the first iteration. Next I is incremented. I becomes 1. Okay, one time if you left shift, then 16th bit will be 1, rest other bit will be zeros. So what is that mask value? 0 0 0 1 4 zeros. So that will be the mask value in the second iteration and so on. Totally 8 iterations. It is left to your implementation whether you want to test the bit starting from bit 22 to bit 15 or from bit 15 to bit 22. Accordingly, you have to change the right shift and left shift operations. So this is the first mask value I have taken, and since I want to test bit 22, after each iteration, and I'm going to right shift the data so that the next lower order bits I can test. So if you want to start from lower order bit 15 to higher order, you have to perform left shift operation. Okay, this is what the code we have written. Hope this code is clear how to count the number of ones in the input. Okay. So the function count once is going to return the total number of ones in the input. After all the 8 iterations are completed, you'll get that count. What is the program? We have to read the input status of the logic controller and then we need to test the number of ones in that input. If it were to be even number of ones, we have to display FFH, meaning all the output LEDs must be glowing. If it were to be odd number of ones, in that case we need to turn off all the LEDs to indicate it as odd parity, and after some delay number of ones should also be displayed. So this is the routine we have written to count the number of ones. Still we have to write the logic to test whether this number of ones is even or odd. How to test it? It is simple modulus operator. We can divide it by 2, check the remainder. If it were to be 0, we can infer that it is even number of ones. Otherwise, you can infer that it is odd number of ones. So before to that, you need to know what and all the configurations you have to do to the registers of LPC2148 microcontroller. And as I told, since in the question they are specified after some delay, you have to display the output. That is the number of ones in the data what you have taken. If you don't introduce the delay in this program, what happens is only you'll see the final output. Number of ones in the input data only you can see. You cannot see FFH 00H to indicate that it is even or odd parity. So if you are introducing some delay, first this data, this output will be displayed, then it stays for some period of time. After some delay, the next output you can display. But if you don't introduce delay, the final output will be appearing on the logic controller. So just to avoid that, we are introducing the delay. It is the same delay routine we are going to use. Just see a nested loop. I need not explain this, correct? And after that, this is what the main function statements we are going to write. We are taking two local variables, temp and count. Since whatever the value that is written by the count once routine, I want to receive it in a variable. Then I'll be testing whether it is odd number of ones or even number of ones in the input by performing modulus operation. So for that, I have taken a variable count here. Then temp variable is required for reading the input status of the LED, that is logic controller. Okay, which register we are going to use, that we'll see. See, all the three pin select registers we are going to configure here. Pin select 0, pin select 1 and pin select 2. Since 15th pin is used as input port pin, port 0, 15 to 22. So these are the port pins used for reading the input status of the logic controller. Since 15th pin appears in the least significant 16-bit position in the port, we need to configure pin select 0 register. So we are not worried about other port pins, that is P0.0 to P0.14. Let us configure all these port pins as GPIO port pins. So how to do it? Just write 0 to this register. Pin select 0 equals 0, pin select 1 equals 0 for configuring the higher order 16 bits of port 0 as GPIO ports, out of which we'll be using port 0.16 to port 0.22. So in higher order, these pins are used 16 to 22. In lower order, only 15th pin is used. Anyway, we are configuring all these registers. When pin select 2 equals 0, we'll configure port 116 to port 130, that is the port 1.31 as GPIO port pins. Okay. Out of which pins we are using as output port pins? It is port 1.16 to port 1.23. Only these 8 pins are used as output port pins for the logic controller. Okay. So next is we need to configure IO dir register. Okay. Since port 0 is acting as an input port, we shall write 0 to IO dir 0 register. So IO dir 0 equals 0. That means we are setting in specific, we want only these pins. So let us write all values as 0 itself, so that we are going to configure port 0 pins as input port pins. Okay. And next, IODIR1 equals 0x00 FF followed by that 4 zeros we have written. That means we need to configure port 1.16 to port 1.23 as output port pins. So for that sake, we have written FF, that is in these positions. So least significant bit position, it is 0 to 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So next 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Only these 8 bit status in the IODIR1 register are to be 1. To configure any port pin as an output port pin, we need to write a 1 to the IODIR register. So that's what we are doing in this statement. So in these bit positions, we are having the 1, and rest of the bit positions, we have taken it as 0. So what is the 32-bit data we are writing to the IODIR1 register? It is 00FF followed by that 4 zeros. So this is what the configurations we are going to make for logic controller interface for your lab syllabus program implementation. So we are writing all, and again, as I told, pin select register need not be configured. Even though if you don't configure, even though if you don't write these statements, your program will work fine, since by default all the ports are configured as GPIO, or they are used for GPIO functionality only. How you can defend this is, if you can just recall, once the processor is reset, okay, so once the power is supplied to the processor, can anyone tell what will be the initial value in the registers and the memory? Initial values? Yes. What initial values you find in the registers? You have used keel, right? Once you execute your program, what will be the values in the registers? Yes. What values you are finding?
Ma'am, 0.
All zeros, right? So that means initially the registers will be 0. That means pin select register will also be having values zeros. They will be functioning as GPIO port pins only. Both port 0 and port 1, the two ports supported, they will be functioning as GPIO port pins only. But as I told, it's a good programming practice to explicitly write this statement in your program. Okay? Even though if you don't write, it works fine. So this is what the configurations you have to make for this program. All the three registers, pin select 0, 1, 2, we are writing 0. IODIR 0 is initialized with 0. IODIR 1 is initialized with 0, 0, FF followed by that 4 zeros. Now coming to our logic. So this is what the operations we are running infinitely. We are trying to read the input status of the logic controller through IO pin 0. So, port 0 is the input port pin. Directly we can read the pin status by reading the IO pin 0 register. IO pin 0 is the register associated with port 0. Okay, since port 0 is the input port, we shall read the 32-bit data through this pin, IO pin 0. What is the statement we have written? Temp is equal to IO pin 0. So whatever the pin status we are having, the 32-bit status, that will be available in this variable temp. So now what we'll do is we need to count the number of ones in the input. So for that we'll make a call to count ones. So count is equal to count ones of temp. We'll pass this input as argument to count ones routine. Once the control comes back from count ones, it will be the count variable will be having number of ones. Now I need to write the code to test the number to test whether number of ones is odd or even. What we'll do? So I assume we have encountered 5 ones. What is 5 mod 2? 5 mod 2 will result in 1. That means if when I perform division operation by 2, if the result is not 0, that means number of ones in the input is odd. That simple condition we are testing here. See, if count modulus of 2 is equal to 0, then what we have to write and to which register we have to write? It is to, since I need to send FF, all ones I have to send, right? So can anyone tell what is the statement I have to write? If I want to send out logic 1 through port pins, to which register I need to write? To which register?
Ma'am, from 1.16 to 1.23.
That's fine. Which register? Tell me the register name which I need to write. Writing 1. If I want to send out logic 1 through the port pins, which register I have to...
IODIR. IODIR.
IODIR to configure whether you want to make the port pin act as an input port or output port. That configuration we are doing using by writing to IODIR register. That is already done in the previous slide. You have seen. Now we are dealing with to send FF, that is all ones, and to send 0 0. That means logic 1 needs to be sent, all 8 ones, and all 8 zeros I have to send, so that all the output LEDs will be turned off. That depends on whether the number of ones is 0 or that is odd or even. So after this condition is tested, if this results in 0, we can infer that it is even parity. I need to write to IO set register. As you told, at which bit position I have to write once? IO set register, whichever pin need to be sent or need to be set to logic 1, that bit status I need to write 1. So if it is a 0 in the IO set register, it is unaffected. Okay, there is no effect or if you write 0 to the IO set register. So what is the value I have to write is IO set 1 equals 0x00 FF followed by that 4 zeros. Just see 16th bit to 23rd bit. Only these bit status is written with value 1 and rest other bits as zeros. So this 32-bit value we are writing to IO set register. That to which register? Since port 1 is the output port, which is the register IO set register associated with port 1, it is IO set 1. So we are going to write this 32-bit value to IO set 1 register. Else, if it were to be odd number of ones, can anyone tell what value I have to write and to which register?
Ma'am, I was at 1 0. All zeros.
No.
IO clear 0
IO,
x
yeah,
0
same value, right? I told whether you want to send logic 1 or logic 0, 1 has to be written to the corresponding register. If you want to send logic 1 to IO set register, I have to write 1 in that bit position. If you want to send logic 0 through the port pin, I need to write 1 to that corresponding bit position in IO clear register. Don't get confused. This I have stressed so many times. If you want to send logic 0, it is not that 0 you are writing to the register. It will be 1 only. But to which register you are writing? It is to IO clear register. If logic 1 is to be sent out, write 1 to that corresponding bit position in the IO set register. If logic 0 is to be sent out through port pin, then you need to write a 1 to that bit position in IO clear register. See? No change in the 32-bit data, but just see to which register you are writing it. So to display FFH, that is to turn off all the output LEDs, to indicate even parity, this 32-bit data is written to IO set 1 register. Otherwise, to indicate it is odd parity, we are writing this value, this 32-bit value to IO clear register so that all the output LEDs will be turned off. Okay, so this is the code you are writing. You need to introduce the delay. After some delay, you need to just display the count. How many number of ones are there? So what we'll do is, we are going to write the statement IO pin 1 is equal to count left shifted 16 times. So count is having the total number of ones. Can anyone tell why we need to left shift 16 times? Why left shift 16 times is required? Why can't I can directly display IO pin 1 is equal to count? So whatever the count you'll get, in which bit position that count will be appearing? Lower order, right? Lower order 8-bit position you'll be having that count. Where that count should appear to display it to the logic controller? Which are the output port pins? In which bit position you need to have the data? Output port pins?
P1.16.
Yeah, P1.16 to P1.23. Correct? P1.16 to P1.23. So the data, whatever we are having in count, so this 8-bit data, this must appear at these bit position. So how many times I have to left shift to make it appear at these bit position is, it is 16 times if you left shift. So that status we are going to send out, write to the IO pin 1 register. Okay. That means this will be reflected in that port 1 pins, which in turn is connected to the logic controller. Output LEDs will be the status of the output LEDs will see according to whatever the result you are sending. So that's what I've explained here in this table. Assume 5 ones are there in the input. So least significant 8-bit data will be 00000101. So this data I want to make it appear at these bit positions 16 to 23. So 16 times if you left shift this data, then you'll see 00000101 at this bit position. So bit P1.23 to P1.16. So this data we are sending out, or we are writing to IO pin 1 register, so that the same status is reflected in the output LEDs. So finally we are again introducing delay. After some delay, again we can change the input in the logic controller using the toggle switches, and that status we can read, and we can make a count how many ones are there. The process can be repeated. We can give different input and the count the ones logic will get executed. It based on what input you have set, it displays whether it is odd or even parity. After some delay, it displays the counter. So since it is enclosed within infinite while, the process keeps on repeating infinitely. Okay, so this is the third program of your lab syllabus. Okay, you need to read the status of 8 input bits, and you need to check whether it is odd number of ones or even number of ones in the input. Based on that, we are deciding whether it is odd or even parity. If it is even parity, as per the question, we need to turn on all the output LEDs in the logic controller. If it were to be odd parity, we need to turn off all the output LEDs. After some delay, we are displaying number of ones. So this is what the simple statements we are writing within the main function. So this is the third program of your lab syllabus. There are other possible questions you can expect on logic controller. Two more I have prepared here. So there's another question. Develop an embedded C program to read the status of 8 input bits from the logic controller interface and display the complement of it. Okay, input you need to read and you need to complement it and you need to display. So what are the statements you are going to write? Include the header file lpc214x.h. Next, the delay routine is written, and within the main function, we have taken a local variable temp to read the input status. Then we are configuring these registers. Sorry, this is pin select 2, pin select 1, and this is pin select 2. And then IODIR register is written with these values. So this is we need to set port 0 as input port pins and port 1 as output port pins. The same statements. Any question given on logic controller to read the input and display the output, these registers we are going to configure. If you are not at all reading the input from the logic controller, if you are simply displaying the output to the logic controller, in that case, no need of configuring this IO the register, that is pin select 0 and pin select 1 registers you need not configure. And IO DIR register, DIR 0 register also need not be configured if you are dealing with only output to the logic controller. If you are reading the status of the input through the logic controller, then only you can configure port 0. Otherwise, only port 1 is sufficient for your operation. That we'll see in the next program. Since in this program, we are not only reading the status of 8 input bits from the logic controller, complement of it, we are again displaying onto the output LEDs in the logic controller. So that's why we need to configure all these registers. Okay. So now we'll see the logic. So first read the input. What is the statement to read the input? Temp is equal to IO pin 0. So this is what the input we are reading. So now we need to left shift the data. Okay. And port 0, in which pins you will find the input? In which bits you will find the inputs? Can anyone?
0.1 to
22, right?
0.22.
Yeah, 22.
Yes,
But while displaying, which pins are used? Which bits are used?
1.16 to 1.23.
16 to 23. That means I need to left shift by 1 bit position, right? For outputting the complement of it to the through port 1. So what I'll do is temp is equal to temp left shifted 1 time, so that the input, whatever you have taken, okay, which is appearing in bit 22 to bit 15, with that data will make it appear in bit 23 to bit 16 position. Okay, now we shall complement it and we shall write this data to IO pin 1 register, so that the complemented version will be displayed onto the output LEDs of the logical controller. Okay, see, IO pin 1 equals complement of temp. You know how to do one's complement in C. Just write it, introduce delay, close the while loop, give return 0 and close the program. So why we have left shifted? Since the input read, the valid bits are bit 15 to bit 22. We want to make it appear at bit 16 to bit 23. That's why one time we have left shifted. That data we have complemented and we have written to IO pin 1 register. The same bit status will be reflected in the output LEDs of the logic controller, which will be the complement of whatever the input you have read. You can execute all this. Once you go offline, you can execute such programs on logic controller and you can verify your code.
Ma'am,
Okay.
how it gets shifted, ma'am? Can you explain, ma'am?
Bit left shifted. Left shift, bitwise left shift, right?
Ma'am, we are shifting a bit that is in 0.22, ma'am.
0 point. Complete
Ma'am,
32-bit data. IO pin is a 32-bit register. 32-bit data is in temp. Okay. But in this, which pins are significant for us for reading the input? It is only pin, that is P0.15 to P0.22. Only these pins are significant for us. Okay, in this bit position, let me go to this previous slide. Just a minute. I showed one table, right? Yes, I think in this slide. Just see here. Once you read the input, okay, I'm talking with respect to port 0. Don't consider this for port 1 here. Let us just remove this. So here, once the input is read, once you write temp is equal to, if you write this statement, temp equals IO pin 0. So this is what the statement we have used to read the input status of the logic controller, IO pin 0. Once the statement is executed, 32-bit data will be returned to temp variable. Okay, but which pins are used or which pins are connected to the input of the logic controller? It is 15, bit 15 to bit 22. Whatever the input we have read through logic controller, it is available in these bit positions. Are you getting? This is the 8-bit data which is available at these bit position in the variable temp. Correct? Are you getting? Roshan?
yes, ma'am.
Or
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Srini?
ma'am. Getting, ma'am.
God. So here, since I need to send out the output, I cannot simply complement. I cannot write not of temp and I cannot send it through IO pin 1. If I do like this, What will be the problem? So it just takes bit 23 to bit 16. Since these are connected to the output LEDs, whatever the status you are finding in bit 23 to bit 16, that will be sent out to the output LEDs. We don't want that to happen, right? The input is available in these bit positions. What I'll do is I'll left shift one time. Once you left shift, so whatever the data you're having is 22, bit 22, that appears at bit 23 position. Data at 21 will appear at 22 and so on. So you'll get the data here. So assume I have read the value 5. Okay. Assume I have taken the input as 5. So 5 means it is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. If this is the input I have read through logic controller, 8-bit input. So at bit 22 to bit 15, this will be the status. So what I'll do is I'll left shift one time. Once you left shift, what you'll get? At 23, you'll get 0, 22, 0, 21, 0, 20, 0. And here, what will be the value? 0, 1, 0, 1. Correct. You're left shifting one time. So this is the status that is available at 16 to 23. If I do ones complement for this data, it will be ones. So zeros gets inverted to 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. So this status complemented version will be written to IO pin 1 register. Once you write to IO pin 1 register, what happens is higher order 5 LEDs will be glowing. Then this the third LED will be off, second LED will be in on state, and the least significant LED will be in the off state to indicate the complemented version of the input. If this is the input you have set, then this will be the output you are going to get. To indicate the status of the input, there are input LEDs where least significant LED will be in on state and the second LED will be in on state. Rest other will be in off state. If you just check the input and its corresponding output LED status, you'll come to know it will be inverted. It will be the complement. Is it clear, Roshan? Have you all followed? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the second type of question which you can expect, that is to complement the input data. So one more type of question you can expect on logic controller, to simulate the decimal up-down counter to count from 0 to 9 and 9 to 0. So infinitely we'll be incrementing the counter. First 0 means least significant LED, output LED will be on. Next second LED will be on to indicate the value is 2. Then third LED, then the least significant 2 LEDs will be on to indicate 3, the value. Let me show it here. See, there are 8 LEDs to indicate the state of the output. Okay. So here to simulate the decimal up down counter in the output LEDs. So first to represent 1, the least significant LED will be turned on. So it will be in the on state. So next to indicate 2, so this will be in the off state. So it will be off, only this will be on. So what is the binary representation of 2? It is 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay. So this is the 8-bit value you will see in the output LED. So only the second LED will be on, rest of the will be in off state. To indicate decimal 3, least significant 2 LEDs will be on. Are you getting? Least significant 2 LEDs will be on, rest other LEDs will be in off state in the output LEDs of the logic controller to indicate the value 3 and so on. To indicate 4, it is 0, 0, 0, 0. Higher order LEDs will be off, 0, 1, 0, 0. So this status represents 4. So this is how we are simulating decimal up counter. Similarly, down counter, it starts from 9 and 8 will be displayed. Next 7 will be displayed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So up down counter will be simulated infinitely. So to do this, we require only the output port. Since we are not reading the input status of the logic controller, if you configure only port 1, that is sufficient for this program. Right? Since we are not reading any input. So first we are written the delay routine. Next in the main function, pin select 2 register I have configured to act as GPIO port pin, and IODIR 1 register is written since these port pins are to be configured as output port pins. So in the infinite while loop, say I am running the for loop from 0 till 9. This I value I have to write. For I equals to 0, I less than 9, I plus plus. This is decimal up counter loop I have written. Okay. I have given less than 9. Since for down counting, I'll start from 9. The process is repeated. So 0 to 9, then I need to again go for 8765 4321. Again, I need to display 0. So this up down counter is to be simulated. So within this for loop, what we are going to do is, so we are going to write the statement IO pin 1 equals I left shifted 16 times. I value will be appearing at least significant 8-bit position. To make it appear at the bit position 16 to 23, 16 times I have to left shift. So this data is written to IO pin 1 register. So in turn that will be reflected in the output LEDs of the logic controller. Then delay is introduced. See, next I is incremented to 1. 1 is less than 9. Control enters the for loop. 1 left shifted 16 times. That 8-bit status will appear at these bit positions 16 to 23. That is written to IO pin 1. Where what you will see in the output LED is, so you are going to see this least significant LED will be turned on. Rest other LEDs will be turned off. That indicates 1. The output as 1. Again, the process is repeated so that it simulates the up counter. 0 to 8 will be displayed using this for loop. Okay. Next, I need to display the down counter. We'll start from 9. I greater than 0, I minus 1. This is the decrement loop I have written. So same statement. IO pin 1 is equal to I left shift 16 times. Introduce delay. Close the for loop. Close the infinite while loop. Give return 0 and close the program. See. So 9 is displayed. Since it is appearing at the least significant 8-bit position, we have left shifted 16 times so that data appears at 16 to 23, and we are writing it to IO pin 1 register. 9, how do you represent? So which LEDs will be turned on in the logic controller? So higher order 4 LEDs will be in off state. Okay, they will be turned off. But here, this in the lower nibble in the output LEDs, this nibble, the MSB bit will be on and these will be off, and least significant LED will be in the on state. Only these two LEDs will be glowing and rest other LEDs will be in the off state. This indicates decimal 9. Okay, once you come offline, you can easily analyze how we can simulate up down counter and what that LED status, what value it is going to represent. All those things you can clearly analyze. Okay, this is another type of problem which you can expect. Is this clear? How we have simulated decimal up down counter to count from 0 to 9 and 9 to 0 using logic controller interface? Have
Yes,
you all
ma'am.
followed? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
these are the possible questions you can expect on logic controller. So this completes logic controller interface. We are done with 5 programs of your lab syllabus in part B, 2 on 7 segment, 1 and 6, the program numbers, and then 2 and 7, that is on Separ motor. This is a third program on logic. Only one program you are having, that is a third program. Totally 5 you are completed. We are left with 3 more programs that will complete your part B syllabus also. Okay, that is one on LCD, liquid crystal display you are having, and 2 programs on DAC interface. So if we complete those 2 components, that completes your lab syllabus. And one more interfacing if I discuss, that is keyboard interface with respect to theory, that will complete your unit 5. Okay, hope you have followed today's session. Have you all followed? What about others? Is this clear?
Followed, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.